My wife and I, part of the journey that brought us out here was 2 years after we read this little tiny book called Country Living. And although we both grew up Adventist, we hadn't read this book, or many others for that matter, of the testimonies, but we were so glad that we have and realized that God has so much practical counsel and absolutely positively our best interest in mind. And there's a reason why he said, come out of the city. Your family will be so much healthier, happier. It will be easier to instruct your children in the way of heaven. And we read this book and then prayed for 2 years that God would bring us to a country property. And this was that answer to prayer.
He is coming, coming, coming soon, I know. Coming back to this earth again. And the weary pilgrims will to glory go when the Savior comes to reign. Uno, dos, tres, vámonos, vámonos, familia!
Kitchen's always our favorite room in the house, and this one is extremely functional. A 2-year-old LG refrigerator with French doors and a below freezer is negotiable. A 5-burner propane range and oven is also here with a full microwave and a 2-sided sink and a functional dishwasher. The granite countertops are fantastic, recently remodeled about 3 or 4 years ago, just prior to us moving here. And again, extremely functional, user-friendly, lighting with LED bulbs and excellent indirect lighting through many windows. This is the walk-in washroom with washer, dryer, and a tankless water heater made by Renai for unlimited hot water for the house. Also functional shelving for storage, and there is an attached 2-car garage. This is the living room where we would enjoy lots of family time. This wood stove is fantastic and kept us warm all winter, not even requiring us to use the central heat, which we do have and is fully functional. And we have also put new carpet down in this room and the entire house that there is carpet. Also, we put in new blinds, Hunter Douglas, throughout the house, as well as part of the other improvements that we have done when we moved in. This is the master bedroom, complete with a full bath. The shower has the best shower pressure of any shower I have ever been in, and this is a king-size bed for your size comparison. This is our second bedroom with a closet, queen-size bed for comparison. This is our third bedroom, the one that the 4- and 6-year-old inhabit, and quite enjoyable for them.
everyone, Bert here, just doing a walk around with TJ Knutson and his wife, looking at their property. As I mentioned, they have a very nice place here in the country in Whitmore, California. And we're going to take a walk around now and show you some of the features on the outside of the house. One of the first, I think, very unique features, this swing set for children. And as I was talking with TJ, he mentioned that this was given to them sort of as a gift. I mean, this is probably one of the better properties, if not one of the best properties that we've featured for country living for families that have children. Very quiet here, very private, lovely setting, well taken care of. You can see all of the trees behind me, and you can see that field out behind me as well. We're going to take a walk around and kind of show you more of the features of this property.
This is our pump house. This property actually features spring water, which flows over from the adjacent parcel that we have deeded rights to. It flows by gravity down to this pump house. There are 2 underground 3,000-gallon cisterns, and from there, a shallow well pump and a pressure tank delivers continuous pressure to the house without any problems. The water continues to flow then to some water features, which we will show you.
We're going to make our way on down now just to show you some more of the features of this property, which I think is, again, very nice property, available for sale, turnkey, ready to go for any family that may be interested in country living. You can't beat it. This setting is gorgeous, very, very quiet and serene, lots of sunlight, plenty of fresh water here to grow your own food and to basically raise your family the way God intended that a family should be raised.
This is the excess overflow of our spring that we have the water to, and as long as the 2 cisterns are full, it's constantly flowing. It's always coming onto the property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it goes through water feature here, down to another one, into the pond, and into the last pond.
So I'm here right now standing out under the willow tree. You can see TJ's son out here playing on the swing. What an enjoyable lifestyle for not only the family, but for families particularly who are preparing for the second return of Christ. I was talking to TJ, and he mentioned that oftentimes when he comes here, he comes from a busy work schedule, and he comes to this property and he just finds it to be so relaxing to be able to come here, to work the land, to work in the garden, to trim the trees, to prune the fruit trees. In fact, that's what we want to take you to next. We want to show you specifically the garden and the fruit trees. So we're here in the garden, in the orchard. This is both an orchard and a garden, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. How much ground would you say is here, acre-wise? Would you think it's about an acre, maybe 2?
Probably about 1 acre.
About 1 acre. Okay.
And it's fenced with a deer fence, 8 foot around.
Okay. And it has irrigation in it, correct?
We put in irrigation when we moved here, and it's fully functional. All the trees have irrigation, and the garden beds have irrigation as well.
Living in the country has many, many benefits. Of course, there are many sacrifices, but the benefits far outweigh the sacrifice. I know there's a statement in the book Country Living, it's on page 5. She just basically talks about how parents flock to the cities because they really believe that they can provide a better environment for their family in the city. But from what I see here, I mean, this is far better than any city life. I mean, would you agree?
I would agree. And I guess the test of time has had to go on to show that. and just watching the shift in society
Right.
and the younger generation now,
Right.
where it's going, having this free access to entertainment, internet, everything.
Yeah.
It is become self-evident that the ways that are recommended to us by God are the best ways.
Right. You know, one of the things that has inspired me over the years is several statements in the Spirit of Prophecy where Ellen White says that fathers and mothers who have a piece of land and a small home will live like kings and queens. And I mean, you can see the son of TJ in the background there in the kayak. He's just enjoying himself out there. Doesn't really have to worry about any threat of violence or anything that city kids have to worry about. He's just simply out there playing in the peacefulness of nature. And how refreshing that is for a little kid, for a child, to be able to grow up and to be able to have an environment such as this. What a blessing. Friends, this is the reason why I believe that God says that we're to get out of the cities as fast as possible. We're not to make any rash moves, but rather we're to follow the leadings and the promptings of the Holy Spirit as we make our move, but we're to make haste to make our transition from the city to the country. God will help us, and God will lead us to that place that He deems necessary for us to live. I know you've been here, what, 2 years now, right?
2 years.
2 years. And I can imagine it's been a blessing to be here, right?
It has been a blessing unspeakable.
Really?
First of all, for our family,
Okay.
it has been such a blessing. We moved here from a golf course community, you know, houses 10 feet apart, although nice,
Yeah?
not having the freedom to run around with carefree,
Okay.
like little lambs, like we're counseled to,
Right.
and also to be out in nature and having a place where we do most of our living outside instead of inside
Okay.
is something that has just been so nice that now, not having a television, having very little screen time, when we go into town, we find it shocking, more so every time we go in. Our sensibilities have become more sensitive,
Right.
and for our children's sake, that's been such a blessing too.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It's really, really nice here. And I think any person that would live here would realize that there's something unique about being here. It just lends itself to a perfectly serene environment.
And that's a nice contrast with a hectic work life that I have working in the emergency room. This is just such a nice place to be able to decompress, have quietness and peace and beauty that is not artificial in any way.
Right. Now I'm looking out in your garden here, in your orchard rather, and how many trees do you have here?
We have just over 40.
Just over 40 trees. What type of trees do you?
We have several varieties of apples,
Okay.
multiple peach trees, nectarines, plums, pear, almond, pecan,
Wow.
cherry.
Wow.
We've planted 3 pomegranates. We've planted 2 fig trees. And
Okay.
we've planted 2 or 3 apricot trees in addition to blueberry bushes, raspberry bushes, and goji berries, which are growing well here as well.
Wow. That's incredible. I mean, that is incredible.
This is the lower pond, obviously downstream from the upper pond that you just saw. This one's about 80 to 100 feet long, and it is about 8 feet deep during this time. During the summer months, this lower pond will go down about 3 or 4 feet, but it'll still be waist deep. The upper pond stays nice and full because of the spring, and both ponds are year-round.
Walking among the trees here, it seems to be a little bit cooler, you know, just being out under the shade trees. I'm sure in the summertime it's a little bit more pleasant here than, say, in Redding.
Oh yes, it's about 10 degrees cooler here than it is in Redding.
Yeah.
Nearly at any given time, day or night, most of the seasons about the same.
Right.
I should mention that we are at just over 2,600 feet elevation.
2,600 feet. Wow, that's not bad. So you get a little snow here.
It will snow about half a dozen times and rarely stays more than a day.
Okay. So you get a lot of blackberries here.
There are more blackberries than we can possibly use. And during the summer months, we like to go out and pick them every morning before breakfast. As many as we can. What we don't eat fresh at breakfast, we put right in the freezer.
Really? And these blackberries, obviously the kids love them, I'm sure.
They're delicious. They're delicious. Nothing better than vine-ripened fruit.
Right, right.
I've never been much of a fan of the store-bought blackberries because they're not very sweet, but these ones are sweet.
So yeah, this has really been a blessing to be here and to see what a nice place you have here, TJ. I mean, this is truly a blessing from God, and any person I think that would live here, I think would realize and consider it a blessing from God. God has a plan for all of us, and it's just important for us to know what God's calling is and to follow through with it.
It might be well for me to add that after seeing a tour of this piece of heaven on earth, you might wonder, why are we moving?
Right.
And it is not to find a better place to live.
Okay.
It is not to find a better job, because both of those are fantastic, but it's something that both my wife and I have felt at the same time, independently, and now together, that God wants us to move on to our next lesson in life.
Right.
And so it's not because of any problem with the property, any legal problem or financial issue of any kind. This is a beautiful place.
Now, how much are you asking? What are you looking for as far as the asking price for this property?
Our asking price is $330,000.
Okay, not bad. Not bad at all.
Someone who I highly respect once taught me to see the value in the land and the property itself. It's easy to oftentimes look at the building, the amenities, the structure, and determine the price on that. But if you look bigger and are looking for land that has inherent value, value that cannot be taken away, land that could provide you with shelving, water, food, warmth, a place for the kids to run around.
Privacy.
Yeah. All of those things are inherent here.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. And that's what gives it its value. Now, the world puts a value on it, like you said, and that's based on the amenities. And in some cases, it's based on, as you mentioned, some of the inherent blessings that are natural. But by and large, it's based on the buildings, the structures, the amenities, and even with that, I still think it's worth $330,000. It's a decent asking price for what they're gonna get.
And the structure is fully functional. It's clean. It's efficient. With the 3 outbuildings, the water situation here, so many things just lend itself to being an ideal property. And I know some family, it will strike a note and it'll be just what they want.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I'm noticing the road here. There's a road out front here that it looks like is a public road, right? It's a
public road. It's county maintained. It's paved. And from here to where I work at one of the hospitals in town is 40 minutes door to door.
Wow.
To the eastern edge of Reading, it's about 30 minutes.
Wow.
To the closest grocery store, it's 25 minutes.
25 minutes. What type of grocery store is that?
That's a holiday market in Palisadro. One that is a high-end grocery store with all sorts of vegan and specialty products, health foods, etc.
I've been there often. Nice place. What about the Costco and Winco? That's further in town, right?
Costco's into town. Winco, it would be 30-35 minutes from here to Costco. From here to Winco.
Very nice. Where's the nearest church here? Say Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The nearest Seventh Adventist church is here in Whitmore, the Whitmore Seventh Adventist Church,
Okay.
which is 5 minutes by
5
drive.
minutes? Really?
It's
5 minutes away?
It's just about 3 miles,
Oh.
which we have walked.
You've
and
walked to
from
church?
once.
Really? Okay.
We walked home from church with the kids.
Okay. Behind us here is TJ's and his wife Marianne's home and property. Again, 9.69 acres of land. Beautiful, beautiful land. Any final words or final thoughts, TJ, that you'd like to share?
Other than that, if you have any interest or just have a question about what living up here is like, we're happy to entertain phone calls. We're easy and don't mind talking with people. And if you have any interest in any of the things that you have seen or want to ask more, we're happy to share. There's not much else I would say, except that we wish you the best as you seek for what you believe God is leading you and your family towards. And if it's country living here in Whitmore, we look forward to maybe hearing from you. But otherwise, we appreciate the time that you've given us, Bert, and for your ongoing ministry.
Amen. It's been a blessing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and wish you all the best, and we'll keep you in prayer.
Thank you, Bert.
Yes. All right. God bless.